Welcome back to the tubes. So just out getting his steps in this fine April morning. Today is technically the due date for the arrival of the second summer's child, but no signs yet. Body weight this morning, 186 on the nose, which is an all-time low. We had a bit of a, not this weekend just been, so it's Tuesday today, Tuesday the 21st. Not this weekend just been, but the weekend prior. We had a wedding. We had a wedding this weekend as well, but we had a wedding where I was a groomsman. Then we had the in-laws coming over and feeding us. So it was, I allowed that to be like a bit of an off plan because I was ahead of schedule. I'd lost 11 pounds up to that point. And then basically my body weight jumped up like 3 pounds. And that's when you saw the last pull session that I put on YouTube. I put like 189.6 there, so like 3.5 pounds. And now it's taken all the way down to the following Tuesday for my body weight to drop down to a new low. So, although it might have shifted a little bit of diet fatigue, which I probably wouldn't have built up much yet anyway, kind of pointless. But it was nice to have the food with the family and stuff like that. And yeah, we are in a good spot. So we've got just under 6 weeks left of this cut now. It'll be 5 weeks come this next Sunday. So I've decided to drop food a little bit, which I didn't think I was going to do, but performance is in a good spot. And I feel like I could just lose the body fat a little bit quicker, so I'm going to do it. Not quite as hardcore as what I've done it in the past. Like my 2023 photo shoot prep, I don't know if anyone's heard me speak about it before, but I dropped like 18 pounds in like 6 weeks or something, or 7 weeks. And yeah, I was getting like lightheaded spells. I was pretty mashed up. Sleep deprivation was real though then, because Florence was like 8 weeks old. But hey, same thing might happen this time, eh? So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, every morning, basically what we do is come out with Brucey, and since my steps are higher now, so I'm doing 12,000 steps a day at the minute, I'll do a walk up to the top of the road, and back down, which is like 1,800. And then I'll kind of just spread my steps across the day. I've got my walking pad in my office. I do like a little bit of steps at the gym. I do a bit of cardio after a couple of my sessions. And we just make it get up to 12k by the end of the day. Sometimes you have to get some bigger walks in, sometimes we don't, but kind of just getting it done, not finding it too hard at the minute. So yeah, that's where we're at. Let's pick up this dump. So yeah, that's the step target, 12k. Do cardio twice a week, 30 minutes. Although it's not optimal, I've been doing 30 minutes after my pull workout, 30 minutes after my push workout, and then the rest of the week I just do my steps and eat my food. And what I mean by that, by it not being optimal, is straight after your weight sessions, ideally, you want to just come home, relax, recover, and essentially do that. Cardio, kind of want to keep it away from the workout window, but as long as performance is good, you're dropping body fat, you're making progressions, I'm a firm believer that you just do what suits your lifestyle and suits you best, which for me right now it is that. We'll see how we get on there. If I feel the need to, I'll go do cardio separate, or I'll do it on my rest days. But it just works nicely just getting it done at the gym, tagged onto my shorter sessions, and performance is holding pretty well, so I'm happy. Today we've got push, and we have been training at the unit Saddleworth. We're going to be training at Honley, just because it's closer to home. So if I do get a phone call saying baby's coming, I can just dart back home and pick Penny up and off we go to the hospital. But I did actually quite enjoy doing pull there yesterday. It was a pretty good session. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'll show you a little bit of my food today. I'll show you sort of what I do when I get back. I haven't taken any fluids on board yet. Literally just get downstairs, get a podcast in, and walk Brucey. Today I'm listening to a Jay Cutler podcast. If you don't know who Jay Cutler is, you should probably get to know. And yeah, that's where we're at. Once we get home, we'll have his electrolytes with his creatine, and we'll bust out a 60-minute work block. I'll see you there. Right, so as you can see, it's just before 7 o'clock. This is when I always get to my desk now. I'm not one of these guys where I'm getting to my desk at like 5 o'clock, something like that, like I know some coaches do. I'm also not one of these guys that sleeps in. I feel like I'm quite a middle ground person with that, but yeah, I find getting up early-ish for me, which is like 6:10, you know, having a shower, taking dog. Actually, hot water's off this morning, so I didn't even have a shower. But just getting up, getting out with the dog, getting moving. I feel like it's great for my body, great for my head. And then I come sit down at the desk after I've fed Bruce. So in here, got my electrolytes. So I got the Train by JP electrolyte blend. Then I've got 10 grams of creatine in there as well. Well, slightly over 10 grams, like 2 heap scoops. It's probably more like 14 grams. And I do, on training days, just because I remember to take it twice, I'll do like 28 grams of creatine, or anywhere from like 24 to 30. And that's going to have a great cognitive benefit. So it's actually protective of your brain and also helps with just cognition and focus, things like that. So that's one great thing about creatine. Also the fact that it helps with performance and holding water in your muscle cell, which then therefore means that your muscles are more hydrated, you perform better, you get stronger, you make more gains, or you hold on to more muscle in a fat loss phase because of that. So it's a really good supplement and it's really well researched. It's not that expensive. It used to be dirt cheap. You can get like a kilo tub now for like 25 quid and 20 grams a day. I don't know, do the maths. It's not too bad. So anyways, we've got that. I always in the morning, I've got my sad lamp on. So this is 10,000 lux light. It's pretty damn bright. You're supposed to, it says on it like sit 30 centimeters away from it and sit there for 30 minutes. I just kind of have it on all morning, which probably ain't great for my eyes, but I don't know. Definitely makes me feel better. Definitely makes me feel more awake. I definitely feel more awake, more alert, more focused. I've been using it since September. It's April now. I feel like my mood's better. I don't fucking know, but yeah, I like using it anyway. Definitely, in fact, yeah, I would say my mood's better using it because I just feel more alert, more awake, and more productive because of that. And, you know, whether it's a direct thing because how it impacts the mood, I don't know. But the research is there in it on SAD lamp, so it's seasonal affective disorder lamp. Yeah, they're actually prescribed for a lot of people that actually get seasonal depression or low mood during winter. But as soon as I seen that it'll help with like focus and alertness and things like that, I was like, I've got to try this, got to try it out. So I definitely recommend it to guys, even if you're not suffering from seasonal affective disorder, even if you feel fine. Definitely a good thing to have at your home desk. So yeah, got that bad boy on, and it's about to turn 7, so I'm going to crack on with my first work block, or I'm going to get stuck into some client check-ins, and I shall see you at meal 1. Right, so just about to get meal 1 underway. So I actually use a little bit of rapeseed oil with my eggs. So I'm going 2 eggs, just so you know, 2 eggs, and then I'm going to go 25 grams of cream of rice, 25 grams of oats, and 100 grams of mixed blueberries with pineapple. Pineapple's around 50 calories, blueberries around 45, so I just kind of mix them in, 100 grams. I try and have fruit and or veg with every meal. I also have 30 grams of sauerkraut this meal as well, but a bit of rapeseed oil in there. And then the trick is, I actually don't just pour it in, I kind of just wipe it off. And it just leaves like, literally is like nothing, you can't even see anything now, but it does leave a little bit of a coating. And therefore you've got like no calories, or close to no calories, while still getting a little bit of a coating. Right, so we've got 2 whole eggs, 30 grams of sauerkraut, 25 cream of rice, 25 oats, 50 pineapple, 50 blueberries, 30 whey. Then we got
2 Omegas. Then we've got 8,000 IU with vitamin D3 with K2. And we have got 1 magnesium. Let's eat. No! Right, so wasn't happy with that. So the espresso range, didn't quite get into it, so I want enough pressure going through, so I even need to make it so it's dispensing more coffee.
There's a present for me.
Oh, thank you. If you put it on the side, darling.
No, it's for me.
Oh, it's for you. Well, Daddy's just recording a video, so 1 second, sweetheart. It's almost swimming time. Every Tuesday I take Florence swimming, so it's almost go time. So we've had a breakfast. I have a double shot coffee straight after that. Woohoo! And that is, I think we just got some Japanese coffee at the minute. Next I'm moving on to some Sainsbury's Taste the Difference stuff. We'll see what it's saying. But yeah, in there's around 120 to 150 milligrams of caffeine. I'm guessing around more towards 150 maybe, which is like similar to a Monster. So quite a decent amount of caffeine. I'll have that now, and then I'll have another one ideally like pre-lunchtime or pre-workout. So it might be like early afternoon, at the latest like 1 p.m.
Yeah, it's
But
the book.
what I have been doing is I actually made this into, and I'm probably going to do it again. I just couldn't be bothered this morning because I've just been, not rushing, but rushing. Is I actually had it set to single espresso rather than double. You have to change the basket and stuff. And it just meant I can have more coffees spread over the morning as opposed to 2 really strong ones. I might have like 3 like weaker ones, but yeah. We're going to drink this anyway, take Flo swimming, and get back to work. More check-ins. Let's go. Right, so I actually forgot to record the last meal. Where the family the house was full. Still full now, it's crazy. We've got my mum round. Florence is here doing knock knock ding dong. Come in! Come in! Come on then, in you get. Hello, who is it? Who is it?
Hello.
So it's crazy, but pre-workout meal's gone down. It was 150 grams of cooked chicken, it was 200 grams of potato, 80 grams of veg, and 200 grams of pineapple. I've been doing that rather than 100 grams of banana, just because I can eat more food volume then. But yeah, it was nothing special. Literally just mixed veg, frozen veg, chicken breast done in the oven. Oh yeah, and I always had, as always, I had 30 grams of sauerkraut. Now, this one is just like the basic one. They do this at Morrison's Sainsbury's. It's good for your gut. Basically just fermented cabbage, but the one that's really good for you is the one that's in like, if it's in like the fridge section of a supermarket. There's one at Sainsbury's in the, oh, here we go. Sainsbury's do one. I can't remember the name of their brand. I think it begins with K or something. I can't quite remember, but they have one that's got live cultures in it. Basically, just go to the one that's in the fridge section, then you're going to get the one with the live cultures. And they do kimchi as well, which is great. But really good to add to your meals. Tastes nice, and it's good for your gut, which is really important. If your digestion's on point, you just feel better, you function better. So definitely worth paying attention to. But yeah, we're about to go hit up Push. Here we have post-workout meal. So we've got 100 grams of mix of pineapple and berries again. And then we've got 50 grams of cornflakes and 50 grams of whey. And then intra-workout, this is what we have whilst we're training. So that's after the gym in the car on the way home. Whilst I'm training, I have 30 grams of Carb X, which is a cyclic dextrin. It's basically just a carb powder. It's 30 grams of carbs from that, just digests really easy, nice and quick. I have another 2 scoops of creatine, so anywhere from like 10 to 15 grams of creatine. And then I just add some pink salt and some low salt to that. Game changer, if you haven't already done it, is not just having normal salt, but having low salt as well. So the low salt, obviously sodium's good for you in terms of like performance and pumps and things like that. But the low salt's high in potassium. It's like 50% potassium, 50% sodium. Whereas like regular salt's really low in potassium. Potassium's super important for like functions in the body, your heart, muscle contractions, just all that great stuff. It's just a really important electrolyte. So that's going in. And yeah, we've had a coffee with the last meal, and I'm trying that just because I've seen Kuba, who's an IFBB pro, banging on about having his coffee a bit further away from his training, saying that he feels good for a few hours after, and then basically because caffeine is a vasoconstrictor, so it basically like constricts blood vessels. If you have caffeine directly before your workout, in theory, you're going to get worse pumps, or you are going to get worse pumps. So the idea is have that further away from the training window so it doesn't impact on your pumps as much and your blood flow in your session, etc. Fuck knows, man, whether it's worth doing or not, but I'm trying it. I'm seeing how I feel in my training. Did it yesterday. I'll always try something at least once before I pass judgment or say it doesn't really work for me. So yeah, already had caffeine, so no caffeine on the way to the gym. And that's about it. But yeah, I'm going to get upstairs, going to get on the walking pad. A little bit behind schedule just because everything just seems to take forever. When there's other people in the room with me when I'm trying to do stuff, I just take forever doing shit. So fucking, even though I love my family, it's a wind up me trying to get stuff done. Let me know if anyone relates, any dads. But yeah, going to go upstairs, finish off a couple of... I'm not going to do the late check-ins because guys that check in late, I just deal with them. I just get them sorted the day after because otherwise it just sabotages the day. And then also it just like doesn't really set any boundaries. So I'm going to go upstairs, get on the walking pad, respond to some clients on WhatsApp, make sure everyone's responded to before I head off to the gym. I always do that, super important, clients first. And then I'm going to take Bruce out to the toilet and then I'm going to get off to the gym. Usually like to take Bruce out for a bit of a longer walk but at lunchtime, but it's just not happening today. Otherwise I'm going to be waiting like 2 hours after I've eaten. Right, I shall see you at the gym. Yes. So here we are into Le Push sessions. This is my Tuesday session. We're starting as many sessions a week basically as we can recover from with abs and calves at the minute. If my abs are ever like too achy or I feel like I'm going to cause myself a mischief, I'll just miss them. I'm not like married to doing it every single time, but for the most part, I'm getting them done. And even though I'm in a calorie deficit and I'm like losing body fat, not eating much food, I do feel like it is helping the calves and the abs. Although I still definitely do have the poverty calves, but we're only a few weeks in. So these are hanging leg raises, just thinking of tucking under at the top, controlling down. Easy money. So we did 3 sets there, then we went into 3 sets of standing calf raise. Your standing calf raise is going to get what's called the gastrocnemius. You've got the 2 parts of the calf, the soleus and the gastrocnemius. Yes, trust the man with no calves, has all the expert knowledge on calf training. So basically all I'm doing here is I'm going as low as I can in the stretch but keeping my big toe glued down as I do so, and then I'm just coming up as high as I can and I'm trying to do like a little micro pause at both ends and use no momentum. That is basically it, and I'm just doing anywhere from 3 to 4 sets to failure each time I train my calves. Don't really do any seated calves at the minute. The research on it seems to suggest that you're going to get soleus and gastroc. You're going to get both parts of the calf with like straight leg variation, and bent knee you're only going to get soleus. I might throw them in at some point, but right now I'm just going hard on the straight leg stuff and progressing them nicely. Then next part of the push session, so actually getting into the push side of things, we're onto the side raises. I have been training, like I said in the previous video, at the unit Saddleworth, but I've been down at the unit Honley recently, just so I'm closer to home. And for this, we're going 3 sets of 10 to 15 to failure is the goal. Sometimes with the rep ranges as well, guys, like I will end up going a little bit short if I'm trying new loads or if I'm trying different machines. And sometimes I'll end up going slightly over. Like that's another important thing. Like don't get too anal and frustrated if you're not exactly in the rep range. Ultimately, the rep range is just there for a guide, more to just like limit the risk of injury from doing too lower reps and too heavy a weight, or just fucking gassing out in your technique going with super high reps. So the most important thing is just getting very close to failure or to failure in order to stimulate muscle growth. So with these, I'm thinking knuckles to the floor and reaching towards the walls at the side of me, slightly out in front. It's quite a short man's machine, is this Panatta one. I always feel a bit restricted in it. But it's still very stable and fixed, so it feels good. And there's me messing up the camera. And then went on to incline Smith. This is a very quick video. I have been doing like a 20-degree incline. This is more like a 30, probably like 30 to 40 degree, just because it wouldn't go at the right level for me, so I just rocked with this. I'm just focusing on 3 seconds on the way down, elbows underneath the bar at the bottom, I'm trying to limit how much I flare on the way up, but it does just naturally happen a bit. Just so I can keep it on the chest as much as possible. And this was supposed to be 2 sets of like 6 to 9. I ended up only getting 5 on this. And then I dropped it after, which I didn't record. That's my first heavy compound. Happy with that, though. I haven't used that particular Smith for a few years. And then we went on to dips, our next chest movement. As you'll see with these, like I don't actually go that deep. That, especially that first rep, I was kind of finding my range a little bit. So I kind of just go to like 90 degrees, and I'm really trying to see this as like a decline chest press. So I'm leaning over, head down, and I'm literally just thinking like, yeah, that's exactly a decline chest press machine almost. So I'm not trying to bias the triceps. And what I find is like I go to this level of depth. I don't know if it's the way my rib cage or shoulders are built or what have you, or just the way I'm leant over, but it just feels like I'm bottoming out my range and keeping the tension on the pecs. So that's all I go to. And that was a 24 kilo kettlebell. I did 2 sets of that. That were a PB on this training block. Next up, we went on to pec fly. This is the last pec movement of the day, third and last. And I was just trying to find my feet with this one a little bit. I haven't used the cable pec fly in, believe it or not, probably a good year or so, maybe longer. Obviously, I've been training for powerlifting in previous, in the last 18 months up until March, which I'll do another video about shortly, like comparing the 2 training styles. But honestly, if you're doing movements like this, unless you're like willing to do like quite a few sets, you're going to be a lot more accurate with like something where you're braced in a machine. Because your body can just get moved around a lot in this, especially if you're not super heavy. Like I'm only 186 pounds, so I'm like 13 stone 4 at the minute. So you don't feel that stable. But anyways, I am basically queuing, opening up, getting a deep stretch, and then I'm just thinking of trying to touch my biceps together in the middle. And I kind of get a little bit better with it on this one. This second set felt better. Technically, the chin in chest technique on paper isn't the best thing to do because as soon as if you just sit there now watching this video and you bring your chin down, what happens is your chest caves in and then you don't get that same stretch in your pecs. But this is actually a bro science. It was what Jay Cutler used to do. He used to just bury his chin in his chest. Jay Cutler was like a massive enhanced bodybuilder, Mr. Olympia, like 4 times, I believe, maybe 5. Forgive me, bodybuilding fans. And he used to just put his chin in his chest and just like imagine he was just squeezing his chin. And I think it really feels good to get your connection on these, but on paper it's fucking kind of stupid, but it actually does feel really good, so who cares? So I was playing around with these and basically trying to take my pecs to failure and get a juicy pump. Next up, we've got single arm tricep push down. And on this one, all I'm thinking about on the way up is elbow back. And that's just to get more range of motion at the elbow joint, which I used to get a lot of issues with doing that. Not this particular technique, but just like if I get a lot of bend in the elbow, especially my left elbow, so not this one, I used to get pain, but with this particular way of doing it, I just don't. So elbow back on the way up, so maximum stretch on the tricep, and then hand back towards my pocket on the way down. And the reason why we go back and not just down with the hand is because the function of the tricep is twofold. It is to extend the shoulder, but also extend the elbow. And that's why it's important to go back and not just down. Then you're really shortening that tricep. So this is the side where, I mean, I might watch this video back and realise I'm not doing as much range of motion on my left side without realising, but typically I used to get issues with really like deep elbow bend on this left side. But these felt absolutely class. The thick handle definitely feels better. Just putting the meaty part of my hand on there, a bit like a suicide grip. Rather than, I have been using like cuffs and just holding onto the ball on the cable machine recently doing this, and it felt nowhere near as good as what this felt today. This felt way better, so definitely going to continue doing it in this variation moving forwards. And then we finished up, last exercise of the day, single arm overhead tricep extension. I did do this cuffed, and a lot of guys, including myself, you can get like quite a bit of crunching at the elbow doing shit like this, but what I focus on the way down, and this might sound weird, is I actually focus on pushing my lat and my shoulder out in the direction of which my elbow is pointing on the way down, and it seems to take the tension off my elbow joint as much. So I think lat and shoulder push that out towards where the elbow is pointing, so which in this case is like kind of like diagonally, and then it feels a lot better. And once again, I'm trying to control all ends of range on all these movements as well, these smaller single isolation movements like the pec flies and the In fact, not the pec flies, just the tricep push downs and tricep overhead extensions. I'm doing 2 to 3 sets. Aiming for 10 to 15 reps, but I think I fell a bit short on these, and that's all right.
Right, let's see what we're looking like. I must admit, right now, we are ridiculously hairy. Still quite a lot to come off, but we're moving in the right direction. I'm actually quite pleased with where I'm at right now. Better position than I thought. It's good to see yourself like fasting in the morning at home. It's also good to see yourself like post-workout. I think like you can get in your own head that your progress isn't that good if you're constantly just seeing yourself too many times a day, maybe like after meals later on and stuff like that, unless you're very lean, which I'm not yet. But yeah. That's a good position I'm in right now. 186 pounds this morning weight. I dropped the food yesterday. I have a feeling it's going to drop down pretty quick right now, so let's see how we get on. Operation Shredded Dad is well and truly underway. 5.5 weeks left. Let's see where we can land.
Just put some music on so she can dance. What do you want on then?
Right, so we just got back. Push session finished. 30 minutes Stairmaster done as well. That's my cardio done for the week. Literally 2 lots of 30 minutes post workout. Slightly different Stairmaster at the unit Honley compared to the unit Saddleworth. And the levels it's a different one. I think this one's a Life Fitness, like the OG brand. I can't remember what the brand is at the unit Saddleworth, but I think level 7 on this one is way harder than level 7 on the other one because I was like sweating loads, heart rate was up. Anyways, great session, just devoured that post-workout meal. Obviously, I wanted to ring Penny and see how she was doing as it is our baby's due date. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to record for my vlog. So that's why you heard me speaking on the phone to her whilst I just recorded the meal. But yeah, I like to eat that post-workout. Does it make a difference on your physique whether you have it with straight away after training, replenishing the glycogen stores with the carbohydrates and getting the protein in quick? Not really. It's probably not going to make much difference if you have it then or, you know, an hour or an hour and a half later or 2 hours later or even longer. It might not even make much difference. Now, I won't want to, like with stuff like that, like I'm not one of these guys as well where I'm going to be like, just to prove a point that it doesn't make a difference, I'm not going to start fucking eating my meal like 4 hours after. Why the fuck would you do that? Just to say, it doesn't matter. Like, just fucking have it then. It's probably going to be slightly more beneficial having it straight after your workout than later on. How much by? Who knows? Who cares? I'd rather eat, let's be honest. Back to the desk now. We are going to make sure all the clients are wrapped up for the day. I'll jump on at 7 o'clock in the morning. I work from 7 till lunchtime, basically, and then I train, and then I work again until typically around 6 p.m. And I'll either do a full hour of focused client responses and client messaging, like 4 till 5 or 5 till 6. And then any other work I need to do, like Instagram stuff, YouTube editing, admin tasks, I'll tick that off as well. And then it's family time, 6 onwards, which is hard to stick to at times. But anyways, I'm waffling. I'll see you at the next meal. Let's go.
So as you can see, that is meal 4, same as the pre-workout meal, but we've got the fruit. We're gonna add some low salt in, some black pepper, and then we're gonna add in some 30 grams of sauerkraut. And we're gonna opt for lighter than light mayonnaise today. Getting a bit low on the old zero ketchup. I kind of rotate through zero ketchup, Latin like mayonnaise, and then what is this doing? And then Nando's lemon and herb ting. But come on, stop being silly. So yeah, that's what we're gonna have. We're gonna have that with 2 Omega fish oils. I have 6 of them a day. Gets me 3,000 milligrams of EPA and I think it's 1,500 DHA. Basically the things in fish oil that make it do what it's supposed to do. Then I have 1 magnesium with like 4 of my meals, so I have 4 of them a day. Magnesium is definitely something that I wasn't taking seriously in previous years, and yeah, it plays a big role in like just like functions in the body. It's so vague, right? But it just does. Relaxing the nervous system, managing stress, improving sleep quality, and just generally improving recovery is like the crux of it. So yeah, being definitely since getting my bloods done, that's been an eye opener. Vitamin D3 K2's been an eye opener, and then something for me which was an eye opener more recently is seeing how low my estrogen was, which is quite unique to me. I think my estrogen was like really low, which impacts like libido, heart health, having dry skin, recovery from sessions, pumps, things like that. My testosterone wasn't bad, but my estrogen was low, so maybe looking to sort that out. Keep you guys in the loop with that though. Anyways, that's the next meal. I'm going to enjoy that, sit with Florence and watch something on the TV. I've clocked off for work for the day. The reason why I'm using low salt is because basically like I ran out of regular salt and I was using half pink salt, half low salt before. Low salt's just lower in sodium. And what I realised was this week, since adding normal salt back in, I think it's almost like my body's not fully adjusted to it, and I've been getting like better pumps in the gym, which is obviously a byproduct of more sodium, but been having a bit more heart palpitations, just a little bit. I can feel my heart beating more. I feel like my heart rate's getting up a bit easier, so I think it's increasing. I haven't got a blood pressure monitor, but I think it's bumped it up a little bit. Might not be that, might just be that I'm a bit more tired, which I definitely am. Could do with some good sleep. Should be getting some early wake ups from Flo, so I know I'm going to be feeling mega tired when this baby comes. So yeah, anyway, I just thought, I've had pink salt in my first few meals today. I've had it in my intra-workout. I don't need to have it for the rest of my meals. I'm still getting sodium from my low salt. And something I need to take into consideration is that there is plenty of sodium in sauerkraut as well, so probably don't need as much salt as I've had these last couple of days since introducing pink salt back in, so there you go. If you've got high blood pressure, sort it out though, guys, because that is a silent killer. And if you're overweight, like over fat, and you're trying to lose weight, or even just look after your health, it's probably a good idea to just have low salt in the house rather than any other type of salt, because your blood pressure is potentially high anyway, especially if you're eating like a lot of processed foods. Probably got loads of sodium in that as well, so food for thought. That one might help you live longer. Right, I'll see you at the last meal of the day once Florence is in bed. Good evening, guys. So, it is... what time is it? It's 8:43. Florence is down. Bruce has walked. And I didn't record my last meal, unfortunately. And that's because we was dealing with a bit of chaos. Everything's fine. Just a rebellious toddler. So we said no TV. And then she was very upset. And that was when I was sorting out my food. So I didn't get around to recording that last meal of oats and yogurt. But the last meal of the day, meal 5, so sorry that you're not seeing it, was a full tub of 0% Greek yogurt. In fact, no, I tell a lie. Tonight it was skyr yogurt. I'm just like skyr yogurt, 0% Greek yogurt, same kind of shit. It's strained yogurt. I'm not sure whether the skyr is fermented or not, so I'm not sure if it's as good for your gut or not. I'm pretty sure it is, but 0% skyr yogurt, unflavoured. It's just got the best macros. I have half a kilo of that, or 0% Greek yogurt from Aldi. but they're not. The ski yogurt's on offer in like Morrison's and Sainsbury's. You can get a full kilo for like £2.75, so it's like £1.40 a meal. Or in Morrison's they do 2 tubs of 450 grams for £2.50, so it's the same kind of value, but it's good. Anyway, so I have one of them. So I have a kilo of yogurt, so it's like 50 grams of protein, and then I have that, and it's like 4 grams of carbs per 100 grams, so like 20 grams of carbs. So it's really good macros, 0 fat, and then I have that with 50 grams of oats, which is like 30 odd carbs, almost 5 grams of fibre, a little bit of fats, and then I have 20 grams of almond butter, which I fucking love at the minute. I've got some, what's the, like health, I can't remember the brand, but it's nice anyway. I have 20 grams of that, and then I have 100 grams of frozen blueberries tonight. And then I put some Applied Nutrition Flavour drops up in that bitch, and it makes it super tasty. Mix that in, bit of cinnamon, bit of low salt, a little bit of pink salt tonight as well. Kind of lost my head there. Added that into my last meal, but I didn't have it in my second to last meal, despite what I said earlier. And that was me. So I had that, and then I took Bruce out, a little bit of movement afterwards. And I also had another magnesium, so I had my 4th magnesium. And I've also had 400 milligrams of L-theanine, which essentially helps relax you, reduce anxiety. It's an amino acid, it's not a drug. And it helps you focus and just relax. This one I've got at the minute, it's not too great, I won't recommend it. This is the old brand that I got. I'll have to find it, man. I'll have to find it and show you my supplements in one of the videos. But this one I've got at the minute, I don't feel the effects of the L-theanine as much as I've done in previous ones. Like I've had ones in the past where there's one particular brand that I recommend to clients now, I can't remember the name of it, that I had in the past, and I'd have it and I would just feel like so relaxed within like half an hour and more focused. Anyways, I have that, got a peppermint tea. This is the only fluids I have after 8 o'clock. Other than this, I don't actually have any fluids now. Later than 8 PM, just so I'm not waking up for a wee in the night loads, which I know someone that is waking up for a wee in the night loads at the minute. But yeah, that's me. That is current training day food, along with push day. Hopefully you learned something from that. Let me know if you like this shit. If you do like it, please let me know. Share this shit on Instagram if you've got Instagram, and if you've got me on Instagram, like the video. I'll see you next time. Peace.